Hello, everyone. This is Monique Linnell with Monique Linnell's Living with a Purpose blog. So, today I'm going to talk about kindness. So, kindness is defined in many different ways. It can be through compassion, showing actual kindness to someone. I say it like that because it uses the word in the definition, but it can be compassion. It could be a way of showing empathy. It could be a way of an understanding of someone else, in their situation. Acts of kindness can be many different things. And today I want to talk about kindness to others. So you can show kindness and it doesn't have to cost you. You can be courteous, you can be thoughtful, you can tell someone thank you when they hold the door, or you can hold someone's door. You can give someone something, but it doesn't have to cost, right? It doesn't necessarily have to cost a certain amount. So, um, what do I want to tell you about it? Being kind to others is very rewarding to the person that's doing it. Sorry, I'm losing my voice. Huh? But it'll come back. Anyway, so kindness to others can be shown through community service or um, giving someone some food that says they need it, extending a helping hand to someone that is in need. Um, Being kind doesn't cost, but it's so valuable, right? Because having compassion and being empathetic and extending your hand to someone else and saying, I'm here. Like, I'm here to help. I'm here, um, you know, to be someone that listens or understands someone else. I just think of, when I think of kindness, I think is, things like manners and, um, things that somebody did that they didn't have to. Like if you drop something and someone else is kind enough to pick it up and give it to you, they didn't have to, but it's considering someone else, being considerate of someone else's feelings, someone else's being, and wanting them to have a good well being. You have their best interest at heart when it comes to kindness, and is a fruit of the Holy Spirit. And in the Bible it says many different things about um different acts of kindness, one being um the Good Samaritan. A lot of people have heard that story, and it talks about how um this man had a bad situation, and he was basically stripped of all of his clothes, and he was out on the street, and he was doing pretty bad, and there was like a rabbi that passed by, went on the opposite side of the street because um during those times certain Jews didn't really mix with Samaritans. Like they were like a hybrid type of or what we would call mixed people now. So some Jews ended up not really following the way of Judaism, and then they ended up mixing with people that were in the nearby different countries, and ended up having children with people that were outside of Judaism. And a lot of Orthodox Jews didn't mix with them. They were sort of like the outsiders. So at the end of the day, um, people didn't mix like that. Anyway, so this particular guy, someone else passed by, and they didn't do anything to help him. He didn't have on any clothes and he was beat up, and like he was there. Um, and then this person walked by and they happened to be a Samaritan. So, like, when you think about it, that being in the Bible, a Jew wrote that, and they made a distinction of this person being a Samaritan because of the differences back then. And for him to help another person, and the person was a Jew, it was like, well, these other Jews just passed them by and they didn't tend to him because of what they looked at with the law and what they, the mixing and mingling of people and so on and so forth. So that's to say, like, how society sees different people and different things, and sometimes status, and sometimes, people are like, well, I don't really, mess with this race or that race or whatever their reason is. Different prejudices will lead people not to even want to help people. But the thing was that the person helped them out and didn't just leave him there like that, and was able to give him, some clothes and help him get himself together. And it's a real interesting story. I have to get the exact verses, so I'll try to find some and link it, or put it on the blog so that you can refer back to that, because the thing was that he didn't have to do it, but he did. And it showed the heart posture of a person showing kindness to someone that they didn't really mix and mingle. Their people didn't really mix and mingle like that. So it just was like, wow, okay, the Good Samaritan. That's why it's said like that, because of the connotation of Samaritan being a mixed race of people that were Jews that had stepped away from the faith and sort of had gotten with people that might have had pagan deities or gods or goddesses or whatever that weren't Yahweh. They weren't the God of Israel. So it was like, it was nice that he did that, but it was just showing something that was kindness, and it was about being a person, about being a human, instead of just being about whatever race somebody was or what their belief was. It was like, this person is in need, they don't have clothes, and they're all messed up. How can I help them? So that didn't necessarily cost that person money or anybody else. It didn't cost anything but to care. And if he had on a shirt and then he had on a jacket, he could have gave the man his jacket, and it helped him because he didn't have on any clothes. Like, certain things people can do that are extremely kind, and sometimes they're acts of kindness, and it might be something small. But my thing is that when you treat other people with real kindness and it comes from your heart, that's what you will hope to receive back, because you never know if you're going to be in need at some other time in life. But there's a lot of evil out here, and there's a lot of bad things happening, and a lot of people doing messed up stuff. So you can get upset about that. All of us have feelings, right? But when somebody is being kind to you and they just speak to you, they have a good conversation with you, they don't judge you for whatever you are, and they show you that kind of love or that kindness, then you're like, wow, okay, that was pleasant, right? That was a pleasant experience with whoever that was. And I think we in this world, in our society, we as a society need more kindness, because it does help and it does make a difference. So this is Monique Linnell, 10-4, over and out.